Published 0409 EDT, the 26th of October 2017. Updated 1019 EDT, the 26th of October 2017. Prince Harry visited a Danish bakery this morning to meet volunteers and service users from mental health campaign One of Us in Copenhagen, where he warned of the dangers of social media for young people. Speaking to ambassadors from the campaign, he said people are spending far too much time online and it's like a mental running machine that they can't get off. You wouldn't put your body through such a workout. I'm the last person to say ban it, but people are suffering from mental fatigue and getting burnt out. We all need to talk to each other more. Harry was given a tour of the bakery kitchen by head chef Claus Bohr but declined a Danish pastry on his visit. Scroll down for video. Prince Harry looks at pastries at a bakery in Hellerup, Copenhagen. During his official visit to Denmark, Britain's Prince Harry kicks the ball back to players during a visit to Danish Defence Centre for Military Physical Training at Svanemøllen in Copenhagen. Prince Harry meets people involved in the One of Us campaign, which aims to raise awareness of mental health. Prince Joachim of Denmark left and Prince Harry share a joke at the Danish Veterans Centre. The prince observes a rolling floorball match, a sport invented by Danish veterans. Speaking afterwards, charity ambassador Elstorp said, "It was great to talk to the prince as I thought he was an equal. You could see he had been in a dark place once himself because of his mother and that's why he can relate to us. He was very kind and caring and down to earth." On the second day of his visit to Denmark, the royal was joined by Prince Joachim, the youngest son of Queen Margrethe II, for an engagement at the Copenhagen Danish Veterans Centre. The centre uses sport and teamwork are used to rehabilitate wounded soldiers. Prince Harry today met the family of a Danish soldier whose coffin was flown back with him from Afghanistan. The royal had a private meeting with the parents of 21-year-old Morten Krogh Jensen, the man he has credited for inspiring the creation of the Invictus Games. During the emotional gathering, Harry was alone in the room with Mr. Jensen's mother and father. It is not known what the group discussed, and the family did not want to comment on their time with the royal. Speaking previously about the soldier, Harry told of how he had been pulled out of Afghanistan 10 weeks into his tour, which left him devastated. The royal was pulled out of the Middle East after the fact that he had been secretly serving there was leaked by a foreign magazine. Describing his flight home, the prince has previously said, "I was broken. I didn't know what was going to happen to them, his fellow British soldiers, and suddenly I find myself on a plane that's delayed because a Danish soldier's coffin was being put into the plane." Speaking ahead of the Invictus Games in Toronto last month, he said, "As I was waiting to board the plane, the coffin of a Danish soldier was loaded on by his friends. Once on the flight, I was confronted with 3 British soldiers, all in induced comas, with missing limbs, and wrapped in plastic. The way I viewed service and sacrifice changed forever, and the direction of my life changed with it." Harry was also greeted by previous Invictus competitors at the Danish Defence Centre for Military Physical Training in Copenhagen. As he watched a game of rolling football, which sees veterans lie on skateboard-style boards, Harry narrowly avoided being hit in the legs. He was reunited with Maurice Manuel, 41, a Danish veteran who has served in all 3 of the Invictus Games. An image taken in Toronto of Harry kissing Maurice's head was broadcast around the world. Prince Harry was presented with flowers as he arrives at Orested Gymnasium, an innovative school which is part of a global network encouraging students to identify and solve issues facing their generation. The royal visited a conference for young people at Orested Gymnasium. Prince Harry points to a resting dog during a visit to the Danish Defence Centre for Military Physical Training. The royal had a captive audience as he chatted to young people during a visit to Orested Gymnasium. Harry is enjoying day 2 of his official visit to Copenhagen, where he's touched on issues close to his heart such as mental health and sport for veterans recovery. The smiling royal arriving at the Orested Gymnasium in Copenhagen. Harry's whirlwind visit to the Danish capital concluded with a visit to a youth conference at Orested Gymnasium. The royal was surrounded by a large group of admiring fans at the Orested Gymnasium. When the prince first saw him again, he joked that Maurice was growing his hair to avoid being kissed again. There was laughter as the prince said, "My lips have never recovered." Speaking after his time with the royal, Maurice said, "It was amazing as always. The work he is doing is alpha mega." He said Harry's visit had shifted the focus onto the games in Denmark and the plight of wounded veterans. The prince, who is passionate about promoting sport for veterans, seemed impressed by rolling floorball. Harry is enjoying his visit to Copenhagen and has spoken of the strong ties between Britain and Denmark. The royal looked animated as he joined in a discussion on mental health. The royal looked in cheerful spirits as he arrived to learn more about the work of a mental health campaign there. "Hasn't been that much coverage. Suddenly everyone is asking about it," he said. The prince arrived in the city on Wednesday morning, after traveling to Denmark on a private plane, and started the trip with an audience with the Danish Queen at the Palace of Amalienborg. He then visited Social Project KPH, where he met entrepreneurs including Syrian refugee Nora Bittersoborg, who introduced him to her baby daughter. He went on to the offices of Game, where he saw young people taking part in activities including basketball and parkour. The trip to Denmark is the latest in a series of European trips made by the royal family this year, following last year's Brexit vote. Prince Harry poses for a group photo with people involved in the One of Us mental health campaign. The royal has kicked off day 2 of his official visit to Denmark by meeting mental health volunteers at a bakery in Copenhagen. Harry was joined by his royal counterpart Prince Joachim for a meeting at the Danish Veterans Center. A warm welcome, the prince being greeted by a soldier at the Danish Veterans Center. In his speech on Wednesday, Harry spoke of the strong ties between the two countries. He said this trip is a clear reminder of the shared values and strong alliance the UK has with Denmark. Our two countries have an unbreakable bond which is as strong now as it ever has been. Harry is expected to meet veterans including the Danish Invictus Games team during his visit.